Hi there, Trevor here from Double Bill Movies. I actually have a double bill for you. Um, this is about a single character basically, although there's lots of really key characters in both movies. Um, this is a character created by Jerry Siegel, and well, we should all know who that is, and that is Superman. So, probably my favourite film of all time, the 1978 one starring Christopher Reeve as Superman, or Kal-El as his real name is. Big cast in it, you know, Marlon Brando, Margot Kidder, Gene Hackman, and amongst others. And then in the other one, Man of Steel, you've got Henry Cavill, Russell Crowe, who else? Michael Shannon, great actor. So anyway, these aren't necessarily going to be reviews because I'm sure so many people have done proper reviews of these movies. Although, you know, I will say that I'm impressed with both films. One of them not so impressed with, and I'll get to that now. So, it wasn't the 4K I watched. Because yeah, I don't have a setup yet, but there's a Blu-ray in there, so I watched that. And I have to say, Henry Cavill being cast as Superman was perfect to reboot the character, reboot the movies properly. I think was perfect, and I kind of have a lot of the emotions and feelings I get watching Superman with Christopher Reeve watching Henry Cavill, and there's just a sort of an awe about him and just his demeanour, and well, I mean, Christ, those muscles that you put on to become Superman, he was just huge, very impressive physique, and I really like the way they sort of concentrate on the civil war that's going on Krypton. Instead of having the sort of the trial scene that you get at the beginning of the 78 version, there's a little bit more sort of backstory and introducing the characters in a slightly different way, giving a little bit more meaning as to why they're in the situations they're in. And I really like that about this film. Pretty sure I went to see this at the cinema. It's definitely something I would have gone to see at the cinema because Superman being my hero. And I like the way they dealt with his younger life when he's on Earth. I like the fact that they got little things from the earlier movie in this movie, but without copying them sort of beat for beat. They took their own twist on things, and the whole school bus thing. There's a school bus scene in the original version, and there's a good school bus scene in this one. What I also get from this is the same torture and torment that Kal-El, or Clark as he becomes on Earth, goes through in his younger years, just not being able to do what he is capable of doing. I think that's portrayed much stronger in this one when Kevin Costner, who plays his Earth dad, in this film, there's, you know, the scene with the tornado and everything that really moved me, that scene, and the anguish and sheer sort of, I can do something but I'm not allowed to, on Clark's face is, and the way he just screams in anguish is, it's, you know, it's haunting. It's like very palpable how upsetting it is. Now there's a few scenes in this that I kind of, this is kind of Superman 1 and 2 from Christopher Reeves, all in one movie, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's good because you've got the three villains and they're all in this, and of course there's the big fight scene, and I just think the fight scene went on a bit too long. It came the film was a little too much about Zod, General Zod, played by Michael Shannon, and you know, his desire to find Kal-El. And I mean, yeah, that was a cool little concept for the story, but I just think it just went on a bit too long, and it took me out of my enjoyment of the movie. And like I said, the feelings and emotions I get from Superman the movie were taken away from me after having been established in seeing the young child playing Clark, and then getting to see Henry Cavill in his various jobs and things that he keeps jumping from, and yeah, I got the same sort of feelings, and that's good. But yeah, those the fight scenes and that, as cool as they were, it just went on a bit too long, and it was a little bit too much about that. So but definitely very impressed with this film. That has been going on almost since I got home from work. That is some guy, no helmet, no number plate on the bike, and he's just riding around being annoying. Anyway, I digress. So I like the fact it's called Man of Steel and not Superman. I also like the fact that the term or name Superman only appears 1.5 times in this movie. It was really nicely done. And Amy Adams as Lois Lane, I think she's brilliant. I like her approach to the character, and I like the way the character was written for this movie. Again, everything is in there. It's a really special film, and I think the thing that disappointed me the most was they set up right at the end, you know, with his glasses on. We finally see Clark Kent as we know. Maybe not going to be sort of the bumbling sort of lovable one from the original film, but you see Lois Lane see this guy with glasses on and think, wow, who's this? And so already just the glasses, that magic of disguising who he actually is. Yeah, I like, apart from the too long a fight scene, I love everything about this movie. It's a brilliant movie. So that is Man of Steel. Now, as I said, Jerry Siegel, and I think Joe Shuster was the artist behind creating the comics strips for Superman that Jerry wrote the stories for. Now, I watched a documentary, and I've watched a couple on comic books. I think one of them was called The Secret Life of Comics. I can't remember what the other one was, but one of them, they both had slightly different takes on the story behind Jerry's creation of Superman. But the one I liked the most was, okay, the bike's coming back. Now you can see how annoying it is. Where's Superman when you need him, that you could just take this guy away and throw him somewhere out the way, hey? Anyway, back to my video. The story I liked, the version I liked most was, you know, that his father ran a shop, and one day some burglars came in and they wanted obviously money and everything, and a shooting took place, and basically Jerry's father got killed. The story is that Jerry supposedly kept having dreams about the situation, and maybe in the dream he was somehow able to save his father. And of course, waking up, he then thought, well, I wish I did have the powers and the means to have saved my dad. And when I heard that, I mean, it's explained so much better in the documentary than what I've just said. But when I heard that, I was really, really touched. You know, I lost my father back in, well, over 11 years ago now. So I know what it's like, and I'm sure a lot of you do, losing parents and loved ones. But so in this film, there's at least 2 scenes that really stick out that I think depict Jerry's desires and his own anguish as to what he wished he could have done. The first one being where Glenn Ford, who plays the Earth Father, Clark, you know, what's her name? Something Clark Kent is the woman's name, and that was a really nice touch. But when they obviously find the ship, or the remnants of the ship, and this young lad with just a red cape around his middle, crawling out the hole and everything, and obviously we see Clark grow. I've got a little story about the football scene as well, but yeah, so Glenn Ford, if you've seen my video for 310 to Humour, I mentioned in there that I mentioned this. And the reason being is, in the bonus feature to 310 to Humour, Glenn Ford's son was talking about his father, and the scene, now, you know, spoiler alert, the scene where what's his name, the character that Glenn Ford plays, the scene where he dies, and he has the heart attack and he holds his hand, and what we see on screen, basically, he didn't tell the crew or anyone what was about to happen, what he was going to do. He just said to someone, right, I know what I'm going to do, and that's what he did, and everyone sort of panicking, like, whoa, what's going on? And you know, but they kept rolling and caught on camera what they did. I mean, maybe the close-up was done afterwards, so they knew what was going to happen, and the wide shot. There we go, Trevor. Remember your filming terminology. So the wide shot of the barn with Clark in the doorway playing with the dog, and you know, Glenn Ford's character has the heart attack, basically. That to me is one scene of anguish, because Clark comes running out and he's already gone, and of course he's rightly very, very upset, but he realizes that maybe he wasn't paying attention, that he didn't hear, excuse me, what was going on, that he didn't understand his powers, and that to me is one scene reflecting Jerry's situation, his dream. And the other one is the attempted mugging, where Lois and Clark are walking along the street, and you get this kind of finger coming out in an alleyway, and they go in, and the guy says, you know, give me your purse or whatever, to Lois Lane, and Clark, in his infinite wisdom, is trying to talk the guy down and say, oh no, I'm sure there's a better way to deal with this, you don't want to do that. And the mugger's like, oh no, maybe I don't. But then he holds the gun up, and of course the gun goes off, and all we see is Clark fall to the ground, and the would-be mugger runs off. But clearly we know that they're not going to kill off Clark Kent or even Superman that early, so we know he's done something, and he's literally saved Lois Lane's life by catching the bullet in his hand. And that is such a beautiful scene, and I do get slightly emotional when I watch it. So to me, that is a real reflection on Jerry's desire to have been able to save his own father. So anyway, like I said, the football scene when when Clark is still on the playing field, and he's getting frustrated that he's got to clean up all the football gear, and you know, he kicks the ball, and it sort of rockets off, doesn't it? Stupid speeds, and it's incredible how far he kicks it. Now, I used to live in the family home years ago, and when I was younger, a neighbour that we had, who sadly passed away now, told me a story that he worked on Superman the movie at Pinewood Studios, and he helped with basically the destruction of Krypton. All the debris falling that you see, he said that basically they just pushed loads of stuff off these shelves from up high, so the camera could capture it falling. But he also said about the football scene, and he said that they basically got an air cannon, put it in the ground, put the ball on it, and set it off. And when you see the cloud of dust from Clark's foot striking the ball, I mean, clearly that's the air cannon. But to me, I never think of that, because, you know, knowing that, and I hope you don't, I hope I haven't just spoiled it for you, but I just think, no, that's Superman. That's you know, that's the force in which he kicked the ball, and this plume of dust comes up. So that's brilliant scene. I love how Clark goes off to sort of the North Pole and creates his ice palace, and then we see the montage of him learning. And now for years I didn't quite understand why he looked young at one point, and then when we see him dressed as Superman, that he looks like Christopher Reeve and he's older. Now obviously that little montage is him spending years there learning, listening to his father and all that. So when we finally see him fly off from the palace, and John Williams' music and the trumpets start off that Superman theme, which is just sublime in my book, and gives me kind of chills and lovely, warm, excited feelings every time I hear it. And to see him fly towards the camera and pan past us is brilliant. And then of course everything else that happens in the movie, with Lex trying to be you know, as destructive as he's trying to be, and Superman rushing around trying to fix everything, and all the special effects in this movie are outstanding. The flying scenes at night round Metropolis is just so well done, and they were all done at Pinewood Studios. Obviously the plate shots weren't. They were shot around New York, but the wire work, it was all done at Pinewood. As you can tell, I love this movie. I was always a little bit confused with the beginning, that you see the three criminals and they get incarcerated into that mirror thing, which I always found a bit creepy and a bit weird, and I didn't like it. But then of course you never see them for the rest of the film, until obviously you watch Superman 2 and realise it's the conclusion of the story. So actually, if you watch these movies, it's best to watch Superman 1 and 2 back to back. You get the whole story, and it's much better that way. But yeah, so lots of amazing scenes, lots of amazing memories. My wife was in the other room while I was watching this the other night, and she could hear me giggling away like a little boy, because watching this turns me into a little boy again. I can't help it. It's just the way it makes me feel. Another little funny anecdote from me, that one school fete that I went to, I wanted to go as Superman, so my mum made this amazing Superman costume. Yes, I had the big red cape with the yellow S on the back. I had, I think it was a pair of slippers on with some sort of long red socks, football socks or something. And then, yes, I had blue tights on, and I had sort of a, not underwear, but some kind of trunks type thing. Might have been red swimming trunks or something. So I was fully dressed as Superman. And it was quite a gusty day, and I was sort of just wandering around by myself, and there was a gust of wind, and I felt my cape fly up, and I jumped up in the air in the hope that I could fly. And yeah, I get giddy about this, and I love it. Now I'm just going to pause the camera because I want to go and get something. So talking of music from John Williams, there we go. I have this CD soundtrack with this lovely slip cover on it, and there is also a booklet in here. There he is, the man himself, Christopher Reeves. Isn't it sad that he's not with us anymore? Now I love all four of the films. I saw Superman 3 and Superman 4 at the cinema, thanks to my dad taking me. Bits of Superman 3 scared the hell out of me, I have to say, and I wonder if you can work out which bits those were, because but yeah, lovely booklet here. lots of essays and stuff. That is definitely one of my favourite scenes. It's just brilliant. And yes, obviously one thing I was really impressed with was this swirling sort of massive hula hoop. Yeah, and of course there's the mugging scene I was talking about, and that is the bit that I really think is a reflection of, I wish I could, so you guys who have the comics and read the comics, let me know if this scene is in the comics. Now, the amazing thing was, Joe and Jerry basically sold the rights to Superman to some other company, and they were kind of stiffed out of it, basically. So suddenly all these Superman comics and everything were going on, but they weren't getting any money, even though they created it. Thankfully, somewhere along the line, someone decided, you know what, that's wrong. So it's got to be rectified, and it was rectified. And that is why, right in the opening credits, you see both their names in the opening credits, created by Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster. That was the first time there had been recognition of them creating it, apart from obviously the very early comic strips that they did, and that's brilliant. So, you know, that's kind of a very fitting end to the story, and hopefully a fitting end to my little video. I do have the Steel Book of Man of Steel, which is the 3D version, so I kind of got all the versions I need, really, don't I? Now I just need 4K of a Superman box set. I know there's Superman the movie in 4K, but I would rather have everything if I can. So, hope you like my little trip down memory lane and all my excitement. I just remember the old cinema, because they were sort of old theatres, and if you've been to any old school theatres, you know what I'm talking about, and how sort of magnificent they look as cinemas. And they used to have intervals. You used to have a B movie as well. So either after the B movie, or actually halfway through the film, they would stop the film and an ice cream lady would come round. Would my dad ever buy me an ice cream? No, but never mind. Hey, you know, I can't complain. He took me to the cinema, and that's really special. So anyway, please like and subscribe. I do have some other double bills coming up, so keep an eye out for those. I've got plenty of old videos to watch, and off the back of my video I did with John Clancy from Movie Collector, thanks again, John. I now have quite a few more subscribers, so welcome to all of you. Enjoy my channel, ask me questions, leave comments in the videos. Let's get interaction going on. I like that. And I'll see you in the next video, so take it easy.